I told you we'd get to this. Today is the day. Let me just start off by saying I bought this with my own money. Nobody's telling me to do this. I'm doing this because it's my experience and I want to share it with you in case you are interested or if you have a need for a tool like this. Leave comments down below if you have questions, okay? When we're all done, watch the whole thing. And if you have questions, comments, leave them down below. You know, it's really kind of interesting. I did have another a video that was on a voltage tester, and it was just a brief overview, and I got all sorts of flack. You may want to go look at that video and give me your comments on that, and comment on the comments that others have made. It just seems really kind of odd. This is going to be a little more than just an overview. I've got the manual. I'll do some real-time use of this thing to show you how I've used it or how I've used it, similar ones in the past. We'll get to some of that history, but before I do that, let's get to the specs. It's made by Klein tools. It's model number NCVT-3P. That means non-contact voltage tester. I don't know what the 3P is for. Non-contact means you don't have to touch it with your finger. You can touch it with this, or just come close to test voltage with this. Overall length, 5 7/8 inches or so. At its chubbiest point, it's about 7/8 of an inches wide. When you're holding it, it kind of fits in the hand like a chubby crayon. It's okay. It's kind of nice. It just takes 2 AAA batteries, and it comes with them. It says so right there. If you notice, it has an O-ring right there, so when you close it down, it's dustproof and waterproof to IP67, which I guess is pretty good. And you might be able to use this in the pool. It's dual range from 12 to 1000 volts, or if you really want to go crazy, 70 to 1000 volts. Not sure exactly what that means. Non-contact voltage, press it once. It's in the 70 to 1000 range, press it again. It goes to the 12 to 1000 volt range. Oh, I see. If I just read this, I'd understand. If it's from 12 to 70 volts in mode 1, it won't sound off. But if it's in mode 2, it will. See, sensitivity ranges. The green light means it's safe to go and it's operational. I'll show you what happens when you come in contact with voltage. Simply do a long press and it shuts off. You may be wondering what that button's for. Well, you're right. It's a flashlight too. That is handy. It comes with this handy built-in pocket clip, which does a pretty good job. It's very well certified, whatever all that means. Now, a beneficial feature is if you turn it on and leave it on, it shuts itself off after about 4 minutes. See? And I know the feature you've all been waiting for. It weighs in at 2 3/8 ounces. That's pretty lightweight. Okay, let's take this thing out and use it, shall we? Okay, for me, the most practical use for this thing is just checking to see if your circuit is hot or not. And that's how I use it 90% of the time. Let's turn it on. We'll stick it in 70 to 1000 volt mode. And if you just come close to the hot side, it'll light up. It'll turn red and beep at you. That's the hot side. This is the neutral side. Got nothing. Now what's interesting is if I set the sensitivity to 12 to 1000 volts, I can just come close and it's got some voltage even out here, or at least it's sensing it out here, and it'll flash blue. Definitely red when it's at 125 or 120 and above, or 110 and above. That must mean there's a little bit of voltage that it's sensing somewhere here. How about up at the switch? Now clearly you'll know that there's power if you flip the switch and the light comes on. However, maybe you have a light bulb out, maybe there's no light bulbs. Let's say you're brave enough to take the wall plate off. Which you should never do, of course, without turning the power off. But you could stick this thing in there, and yeah, it's hot. Now, yeah, even if the lights were turned off, you'll still know that there's power here. Another nice thing about this is, if you have no light, turn on the flashlight and sense away. You can see now. I like it with a flashlight. Oh, by the way, if you don't have one of these or something like this where it's powered and you can unscrew things easily, get one. I recommend it. It revolutionized my life. Affiliate link below. Let's say power goes out in the house and you can't figure out if you have power coming to the house. Simple. I think I got power. Oh yeah, there's power. Are my circuits working? Yeah. Now, this is the second one that I've had. The one that I had previous didn't have the flashlight. It was an older model. I had it for easily 20 years. It worked great. And the reason why I picked this one up is because my old trusty friend, the previous one, I left it out in my tool shed this summer where I had 115 degrees consistently. And I left the batteries in. The batteries exploded. It totally destroyed and corroded everything on the inside. I tried to repair it to no avail. I ended up tossing the old friend because it was useless. So I bought a new one. How much do you think I paid for this? That's right. Just about 30 bucks. Now, is it worth 30 bucks? To have peace of mind, to be able to stick it around and find out if you have voltage somewhere, even though you think you may have already turned off the circuit, and test it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Yeah, I think it's worth it. It's 30 bucks. If you don't have one of these, even if you're just the general homeowner and you know a circuit goes out in your house and or maybe you're just trying to put a new outlet in or a new light switch or something simple like that, 30 bucks could save your life. Stick it in there, make sure you got the circuit turned off the way it should be turned off. I'll leave an affiliate link down below. If you have experience with one of these or something similar to this, let me know down below. Always love hearing from you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.
See you next time.